If you're watching this video and you're over 50, you've been laid off, or you're terrified that it's coming and you feel like you're staring at a future you didn't plan for, I want you to know this video is for you. Because being laid off in your 50s just hits differently. And it's not just about a paycheck. It's about retirement timing. It's about health and stability. And it's about feeling like, how am I supposed to start over now? So today I'm going to show you a calm, realistic way to rebuild your income after 50 without starting from scratch, without chasing random side hustles, and without living in panic. And if we haven't met yet, my name is Kim, 54 years old, mom of 5, and I've been laid off twice in the last 10 years. My husband was laid off 5 years ago. But the real wake-up call for me wasn't just about the layoff. It was when my husband had a heart attack. That's when it really hit me how short we were for retirement. And that moment changed the question I was asking. Because I stopped asking, what job can I get next? And I started asking, how do I build income that doesn't disappear when life happens? And I'm documenting this in real time because I know that there are other people out there who feel the same pressure, but they're suffering quietly. If starting over feels harder after 50, it's not because you're failing. It's because the old starting over advice wasn't built for this season of life. Most advice out there on the internet assumes that you have unlimited time, unlimited energy, and unlimited flexibility. But after 50, real life looks like this. You're probably helping your kids pay for college, or helping grandkids, or helping your parents, or managing health issues, or just trying to protect your peace. So when someone says just starting over, what they're really saying is just add stress to a life that already has stress. That's why a lot of people over 50 don't need motivation. They just need a different model. Because the real problem isn't that you can't work. The real problem is that you don't want to rebuild the same fragile income structure again. So let's talk about what most people do after a layoff and why it keeps them stuck. Most people, including myself, go into urgent survivor mode. They start looking for the fastest thing, the easiest thing, anything that feels like relief. And usually it becomes one of these. A job that feels fragile, just like the last one. A side hustle that depends on constant energy, or a pile of random ideas that never become a system. Here's the issue. Most of these paths are built on one thing: hours, a ton of hours. Meaning if you stop showing up, the income stops. And when you're rebuilding after 50, life will interrupt, not because you're lazy, but because you're human. So what happens? You start, you stop, you start, and you stop again. Then you don't just lose money, but you lose confidence. And this is the trap. Rebuilding income in a way that resets every time life happens. Let me ask you something, and I want you to answer in the comments, even if it's just one word. Have you ever started something, got excited, and then stopped because life got heavy? If that's you, type me in the comments, because I can tell you it happens several times a year for me. Now let's talk about the shift that changes everything. So instead of chasing income ideas, you build income skills, just like you build income skills in a job. Because jobs just pay once, skills can pay repeatedly. And the goal after 50 isn't just to build something that needs you 24/7. The goal is to build something that compounds so you don't have to start from zero again. And here's what I mean by compounds. If you learn just one skill, like creating clear content that speaks to a specific person, that skill can be used in YouTube videos, in lives, in emails, in products, in affiliate recommendations, in coaching. These skills stay with you. You cannot get laid off from a skill, which is what I love. Now, here's the biggest mistake that people make at this point is they try to learn everything at once. They try to build a brand, a business, 10 platforms, 4 offers, all at the same time, and that creates overwhelm and quitting. The shift is not to do more, The shift is to do less, but repeat it. One audience, one message, one simple workflow. That's how trust is built. That's how content starts working. That's how income starts compounding. And I want to ask you a simple question. What is stopping you from starting your own side hustle? Is it time? Is it the technical piece of it? Is it confidence? Let me know in the comments below. If you are trying to rebuild after 50, you do not need a complicated plan. You just need a plan that fits real life. Here's a simple plan that works for beginners and doesn't require you to be techie or work another 8 hours a day like a full-time job. I call it create, connect, follow up. Step 1 is create. This means you create one piece of content that speaks to one person, not everyone, not the entire internet, just one person. For example, laid off after 50, here's what I'm learning about rebuilding income. Step number 2 is connect. That means you're talking to real humans, you respond to comments, you ask questions, and you build that trust. You're not selling, you're simply connecting. Step number 3 is the follow-up. That means you give people a clear next step, a procedure, a resource, a blueprint, a way to learn. And here's what's important. You measure conversations, not likes. You measure clarity, not perfection. You measure consistency, not motivation. Because motivation comes and goes, but a simple workflow is something you can repeat even when you're tired, even when you've had a long day at the job. So if you remember nothing else from this video, remember this. If you start a side hustle without a system, it's going to lead to exhaustion, burnout, and you're going to want to quit. If you've been laid off after 50 and you feel behind, it definitely means you are not broken. It just means the old model you relied on was fragile. And now you're hopefully seeing it clearly, because it's not just about being late, it's about becoming intentional. So if this video helped you at all, I want to invite you to the next step with, of course, no pressure. I have a free blueprint link in the description below that explains the simple system I'm using to rebuild after 50. It's not hype, there's no pressure, it's simply clarity. If you are rebuilding right now, I just want you to know you are not alone. You can do this, you can get past this. As hard as I know it is, you just have to keep the faith. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.